Hello, everybody. Drew Dosek here with Verified Investing. Guys, we've got the commodity charts to go down through today. So much news is surrounding commodities over the last week, specifically today with gold and silver ripping higher. So, man, let's not wait any further. Let's jump in the charts, see what price action's happening. But first off, we'll start off with oil because this does control a lot of the inflation fears that most of the public has when oil rises up on the charts. We all hate having that pain at the gas pump, but more specifically, I hate it at the grocery store too, because all of those goods are hitting those shelves coming from trucks with diesel engines. And so that's a lot of expense whenever US oil continues up. The good news for the last few days, oil is coming down off of peace news within the Middle East. Now, it's not 100%. We've been off and on again about 6 or 7 times with this potential peace deal, but at least the near term, we have been declining. So let's look about where price action is. You see, I've got a few different lines drawn on the chart, really that have highlighted all of the moves that occurred since back here, making our peak on oil prices when this conflict was really at its genesis at the end of February and into the beginning of March. So now that we find ourselves with the most recent rally of escalation has gotten shut down, this level of resistance by this declining trend line was pierced, never confirmed above, and price came right back down. And when it came down, it retraced that trend line and then has since come down even further. Next support to be mindful of, $72.70, followed by $69.64. And also another level of support at 68.64. So you can see there's a spider web of support should price come plunging straight down into this range. We likely will stop the selling pressure, if not bounce right back up and retest this declining trend line at that time. It could be somewhere around $79 to $80, depending upon when and if price materializes in that direction. Now, of course, if we have escalation, discussion of the Strait of Hormuz, as well as the Red Sea being closed, or at least not having any sort of vessels shipping, I almost anticipate, yes, we will be coming back above this declining trend line and likely targeting this $96.44 level. Purely news driven. So just be anticipating potential volatility and whipsaw action on U.S. oil, depending upon what's going to be coming out of the Middle East. Next up into nat gas. Now, nat gas on a larger time frame we've seen has been in an inclining parallel channel, cleanly has broken down from this year. You see all this trading action in February underneath this inclining parallel channel. We've made several attempts this year to get back in, and all of which have been getting rejected. And you see here too, we're on the verge of negating what was a potential inverse head and shoulders pattern. Now, the one thing that's curious about this nat gas chart is that with the AI data center build out, a lot of these companies have signed agreements, at least with the government, pledging to not tap into the local energy grid to run their database centers. So a lot of them are switching over to utilizing natural gas for their power. You know, companies like BE are helping these data centers to make that transition. So for me, even with price coming down here, and yes, guys, it's August, so we shouldn't have nat gas in the highest of demand when we normally have it during the winter months in the northern hemisphere. But guys, this is getting interesting to start nibbling and pick some nat gas up, because I only foresee down in the future that we are going to be using these natural resources for energy consumption, and they're going to become more and more in demand. So whether that's a long-term play, and if it is, guys, go light, because nat gas can really whip up and down on the charts. But I do like nat gas here at this level, even if we're breaking $2.75 support, could very well come down to $2.53. But guys, I really like this range of nat gas. I wouldn't mind picking some up myself just to tuck away, because I am anticipating a steamroll of demand for nat gas and energy resources in the near to midterm. Next up, guys, the story of the day. Look at that chart on gold, guys. What a rip, up over 4%. Now let's do something, and I want you to do this too on all of your charts. It really kind of helps to distinguish what's going on, what's a big move, what's not a big move. And it may seem very very obvious for everybody to see this, but sometimes investors don't necessarily give it the attention it should. And what I'm talking about are big candles on the chart. Whenever you have a big candle, you got to pay attention. You know why? Look back here. Look at this big red candle. Well, you know what happened when this big red candle printed? We never got back above it. All right. So that's how important big candles are. Big, red, nasty sell candle. This pivot high top here, price tried to get back above, so far has not done that. Now, all of these other candles don't even compare to the size of this red candle. However, this green candle is the biggest in the most recent history, even bigger than this and this candle prior. So this is something I'm paying attention to, not only because of the size of the candle, but to add on additional levels of influence and importance, we're breaking back into this inclining parallel for gold, one that has held price since the April of 2025 lows. This was the only time that we had breached to the downside, and we did it for quite a while since June. And we tried to get back in, kept getting rejected on multiple attempts. And then now today, finally, back inside that parallel channel. But remember what happened back here on July 6th. We had one day up above, and then the next day right back down below. So that's very well could still be the case today, but it's not. This candle back here on July 6th was not the same mammoth green candle. So that tells me this likely has better staying power. Still doesn't negate the fact that I will be watching this bottom range of the parallel to see if price does go back and navigate underneath that level tomorrow at $4,211. Most importantly, if you're a bull, you want to see price tomorrow get up above this high at $4,268 in essence and close there. You want to see it close because then that will flip the bottom of the parallel into support. So we've got a couple things to watch in the very near term, talking about tomorrow on the chart of gold to see if this rally is real. Sure enough, appears like it because of this mammoth green candle. Same thing here on silver just about, guys, except for silver's already in the top 50% of its parallel channel. So it doesn't necessarily need to break back into the parallel here. It's doing quite fine, but it is confirming a near-term breakout from this declining trend line. Next resistance, the high pivot that occurred back on July 6th at $63.26. If we can beat that, now we're talking $67.99 as the next target on the chart of silver. Lastly, guys, I am pulling up copper to go over with you on the weekly time frame. Look at this nice push that's occurred on this chart. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 candles pushing up almost straight in a line here on the chart of copper on the weekly time frame. That tells me we're getting a little bit overdone to the upside, and also my parallel tells me that too. This week, the high end level of that parallel for resistance at 6.86 and a half. And next week is going to be slightly higher, 6.87 and a half, both of which likely should be stout resistance levels, potentially pulling price down, back down into this previous consolidation in the 640 to 650 range. So important to see on copper. Copper certainly utilized in building out buildings, construction, et cetera, has certainly been in high demand with this AI data center build out. All right, guys, that wraps up commodities for today, as we did touch on some very hot commodities. No kidding. No joking about it. And gold, silver remain in the news. Silver, I still expect in the near future can drop down to the $50 range, but this near-term rally has me certainly interested. I did pick up some physical silver just the other day when it was right at the $60 price range. There wasn't much that I picked up. I more or less bought it as a gift. Fully waiting for price to get down sub 50 or right in that range. But basically, I'm going to have to wait for another day because we're in a rally mode in the precious metals. We'll see how long this lasts. And until next time, guys, hang tight. Enjoy these videos. We've got a lot of TA for you. So sit back, enjoy this free information to help guide you on your very next trade. Until the next time, guys, I'll see you right here on the charts. Take care, folks.